So with the addition of Ludovic to AFK Journey, we now have kind of like 4 main healers in this game. Each one has its unique abilities, and it does seem like some of them are best suited for specific game modes. We're going to go over what each one of these heroes is best at, so you guys can better understand which one of these 4 is going to be best in certain situations, or one that you might want to build for your account, because 3 of these 4 are going to be S levels, which are much harder to get your hands on. Although one of them is pretty easy because it's the rate up banner right now. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If you haven't done it just yet, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about these healers. So we have to start off with Ludovic because he is the brand new hero and I've had quite a bit of time to test him out. The one big perk with Ludovic is really Mythic Plus doesn't unlock too much for his main kit. It does make it so that it produces ephemeral oh my god, it creates berries that explode after short delay, dealing damage. It also, you know, restores additional health within range too, which is kind of a cool thing, but it's not like necessary for his main idea. The main reason why you would bring Ludovic to your team is number 1, he's a Graveborn, and number 2, he is probably the strongest overall healing healer in the game because his little bloom, his ultimate here, it just moves around the battlefield so easily. It's a very good smart heal, and beyond that, you can manually control it too to place it where you want to be, whereas some other healers, you don't really have control over it, or you're limited by the range of it. Majority of his abilities are unlocked between his ultimate, his Lifeweaver's blooms, and his ethereal blooms. Of course, hero focus does increase the total amount of healing output, which does help as well. But again, Supreme Plus is definitely not a necessary thing. It is a very niche stun that can only be placed, or can only happen when an enemy runs into it. The one nice thing he does have is his season ability does have some boosting to the highest damage dealer on your team, so that can be cool. It's not 100% uptime though, because it's every 5 seconds it casts it, and it only lasts for 3 seconds, so it's kind of weird. But I will say, if we're talking about straight up healing throughput, he's very, very good. I've tested him in PvP. I really enjoy him and think he's one of the best in PvP, up there with Damian and Hewynn. Yeah, I mean, he can be a very good deficit pushing healer too, because of, again, he just keeps the team alive for so long. Again, the only real negative this hero has is he doesn't really have buffs to his team like all the other supports have, but to make up for that, he does have some of the craziest healing in the game. So if you just need straight up healing and you need to survive, he's probably going to be one of the best picks for your team with very little investment. Now, where you would use Ludovic in a lot of game modes, it's hard to beat this guy right here. Probably the best hero in the game almost right now, because he's used in just about everything except PvP, and that is Smokey and Mirky. The downside with him is he really becomes he turns online when you do get him to Mythic Plus, because you need that special aroma dealing percentage of max HP damage to enemies, because it doesn't seem like it's curtailed at all. So not only does he have constant AoE healing, he also has this damage ability, which is just absolutely crazy good. And of course, he gets even better at Mythic Plus. Again, not when you, or sorry, Supreme Plus. You don't need him at Supreme Plus. You really need him at Mythic Plus. The bonus to this hero is he does also increase the attack, or he does a pretty good buffing job to his allies. It increases the attack of allies within the aroma by a certain percentage. The higher skill power he has, the higher that attack buff is, which is why one of the reasons why he's so good in places like deficit pushing. He's really, really good. I mean, deficit pushing is all about Wither Potion. Dream Realm, which again, he does damage and heals, and beyond that, he buffs the attack of his allies. If you need the most versatile hero, I would probably have to say it's Smokey and Mirky, but you really want to take him a little bit higher up. You don't really need to invest too much in his exclusive. If you do want to go to plus 10 though, it does add a mini stun every time he uses his aroma enhancement, which is really solid and can just break, you know, channeled abilities and stuff like that, add a little crowd control into the mix. I think overall the most useful healer on this list is still going to be Smokey and Mirky, but I still want to talk about the others because they do have their pluses. As far as pure healing output, Smokey can keep up with Ludovic, but Ludovic's healing is very mobile, whereas Smokey's, it slowly expands more and more. And at the beginning of battle, you sometimes have to put him in a very dangerous position to make sure he's healing those front row tanks. So the next hero on this list is going to be Hewynn. I know I say her name wrong. It's just, I think it's supposed to be pronounced technically Hewynn. I don't know. I just got Hewynn. It just sounds easier. It rolls off the tongue. Very good healer, very solid, and really pops off the second she gets to Mythic Plus. Why is that? Well, when she uses her ultimate skill, Rain Prayer, she is gonna have this tranquility effect go off. She's unaffected for 6 seconds, which means she can't be crowd controlled. Amazing for things like PvP and such. And then while she is casting this, she reduces the damage allies take. Now it's only for 6 seconds, but it can increase up higher. And you can see right here, if you do get it to +5, you get initial energy, which gets you to your ultimate faster. And there are some other things that are really cool if you do take her up to higher levels. You don't necessarily need to. She does get better at Supreme Plus because she will provide haste to any allies healed when Revitalize is in effect. Her season ability, again, is very much like the new Ludovic hero, giving that additional attack and everything. And she does have some smart healing that goes around. She also has the ability to remove dispellable debuffs. And overall, she's really good. She's probably 3rd in overall healing throughput, potentially. Maybe even 4th, just because her healing is very good. She has an AoE battle-wide Rain Prayer ultimate. She has single target healing, and she does have, you know, bonus healing that she can provide. The big thing here is the fact that she can also provide that damage reduction, which can play a really big role. So if you need someone that's very versatile, cool, she can be a good pick. However, if you're not planning to go Mythic Plus with her, the other healers will do a better job, in my opinion. Now, last and certainly not least on this list is Damian, the only A-level hero here so far. And the cool thing about Damian is, honestly, I enjoy him even when you don't have him at Mythic Plus, because, well, one thing you really struggle with these types of healers is they sometimes die very easily at lower quality level. But Damian doesn't even join the battlefield. He runs off the battlefield. He sends his explosive chariot into battle, and that is what heals the allies. Now, the downside of this is the chariot can also be very squishy, but the chariot can provide a ridiculous amount of healing, like a crazy amount of healing. But it's not up all the time. It comes and goes. It's not constantly, and it does have a huge AoE to it as well. I do like him overall. He does have the ability to stun the furthest target enemy on the battlefield, which is cool as well. And he does have some interesting things where, you know, he has his blind duration is increased as well. He has some pretty unique crowd control as well. And the reason why he's used a lot is he also provides haste to his allies as well, which is just really cool. And his season ability grants a shield to the frontmost ally, which is really cool because you can get a very big shield on that ally right away for anything that's season oriented. And he's just been one of the best overall support heroes in the game. You can see right here, if you go Mythic Plus, inspired non-summon enemies grant that additional haste. If you don't go for Mythic Plus, it's not a huge loss. If you're doing like mirror matches and PvP, it can be a big deal, but he's definitely a good option, and he's probably the easiest to build because, well, he's an A level. You can build much more. If I had to say overall though, a single copy, hands down, I'd probably still have to give to the new hero, Ludovic. Damian can be very good too, followed by Smokey, and then Hewynn. So you guys can see there's a lot of different options when it comes to healers now that Ludovic is in the game too. If you're looking for pure healing output though, he's really good. So let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree on anything, leave a comment down below, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.